So it occurred to me that I had not talked about Project Scissors slash NightCry, the spiritual successor to the Clock Tower series, on this channel at all, even though I thought I had. I think I was planning to, but forgot about it. Though we have more info on it, so I guess now's a good time as any. So I'm going to talk about NightCry. For those of you who don't know, NightCry, also known as Project Scissors, is is a spiritual successor to the Clock Tower series, in a sense. It's being directed by Hifumi Kono, the director of the series, and he's making it with his company Nude Maker, the new company that he made that he's been doing other stuff with, like he made a Steel Battalion, I believe, but and I think he left before Clock Tower 3, but and also it's also being worked on by the film director Takashi Shimizu. Takashi Shimizu. Okay, there we go. Who is the creator of the Grudge series, as well as Kiki's Delivery Service, apparently. I had to actually look up the people's names. But yeah, I guess this is kind of like PT with Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima. Except here, it's being done, it's a spiritual successor done by the developer and director of Clock Tower, with the assistance of a Japanese horror movie director. And you can definitely see it when you look at their little short film that they did, as well as their little teaser, which I'll get into later on. But yeah, that's basically what NightCry is in a nutshell. It's a survival horror game that will take place on a cruise ship, with an antagonist, like you're solving puzzles, and it's going to be broken up into two modes: escape mode, where you're trying to escape from the enemy, the scissor walker, if you will, and exploration, where you get information. I feel like that's actually kind of a cool way of doing it. I'm actually very interested to see how this game is going to play. It's going to be for mobile phones, like smartphones, obviously, and PS Vita, but they're also working on a PC version. And there's a Kickstarter, so you can kind of help them. So you can help them achieve that. And in fact, I might actually back it once I look more at the stuff. But yeah, so this is actually a thing. Clock Tower's kind of coming back. I think in a way, I'll give more details as to why. But yeah, they have a Kickstarter, and the news of this actual project came around September, so around the time of Tokyo Game Show, but we haven't heard too much, or haven't heard much more until now. They did finally name it NightCry and gave it a little PV. Then this recent thing came up with this little short teaser showcasing more story stuff, and shows this little kid named Sam, played by the famous Japanese child actor Michiru. It's weird because Shimizu, he directed it and made the film, and it's shot. It uses an English-speaking cast, and it's kind of funny because I think they're using Japanese actors, quote unquote. They don't look Japanese. They're not they're not Asian skin-wise or race-wise, but I think they're actors who are in Japan doing Japanese work. I know I looked up one of the actresses who I think is going to be the main character, and I saw that she mainly voiced or she mainly did Japanese dramas, as well as a Japanese travel series. That's where I mainly saw her. Because I haven't actually watched her stuff in the past, but I mainly saw her doing Japanese stuff on her demo reel on YouTube. And she plays the mother, who I think is actually going to be one of the main characters you play as. They've already said you're going to be able to play as multiple characters, and I think it's probably going to play more like Clock Tower 3, which I kind of hope, because I sort of like that more direct and full control movement kind of style like Clock Tower 3. But I do like sort of like the survival horror, sort of like going to things like, it's a chair. Oh, look, it's a pocket watch. I better pick that up. I kind of like it. In fact, seeing this kind of made me want to try and finish Clock Tower 3 because I got really close one summer. Or really close one semester. But that I digress. So this little teaser thing, it shows the kid and he's playing on his iPad. And they show a bunch of games and one, and it's kind of funny. Like they show games and DVDs, and one of the games is actually it's funny. One of the games is actually Clock Tower: The First Fear, the PlayStation version, the one that I actually helped with the fan translation on. It's kind of funny because I was just like, that's like I'm seeing my product cameo in a movie, even though that's not it at all. But it was still kind of cool to see it. It's a nice little nod to the series and whatnot. And this being a Takashi Shimizu, I have to like Takashi Shimizu. That's really hard for me to say for some reason. Since it's one of a Shimizu film, it's very sort of like turn around and look when you hear a sound kind of style, and the sound effects you hear are like really like kind of like you're crushing an insect. They're really crunchy and squishy and gooey sounding, I think. And they show the scissor walker and the way she kind of contorts her. It's almost like she's trying to be the Grudge girl because she kind of contorts her body in a way that's very strange. One of the scenes that I find very interesting is where it shows the mom and the son's like being like, "Mom, there's this evil lady that this is after like she's made the scissor walker's made her first appearance, and the mom's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Calm, and she has her hand on her son's arms, but then like this little water thing comes up, and like it shoots up, and then the mom just gets quiet, and then it shows her looking up, and then it goes to the kid and he looks up, and you see like what looks like a scissor mark, but this is where it gets you. Goes back to the mom, and the mom's still being kind of quiet, and her eyes start rolling behind her head, and her arms go down. They end up falling off, and like her face gets like cut in half. It's actually really interesting. I find that to be a very interesting, effective scare. It's probably the most intelligent scare I've seen in a while. Because I just wasn't. I was like, wait a second. I caught it, but I'm like, wait a second. Wait, is she really dead? Because she looks up like. And then, like, I'm like, oh, so she is. And it was just a bit of extra shock. And, of course, he wakes up. And the scissor walker, like, attacks him while the mom's trying to bang on the door because she forgot her purse. And I think the kid dies. This is kind of what's leading me to play as that you play as the mom. And plus, she kind of looks like the protagonist anyway. The character that we've seen so far. She's wearing like a green dress, like an adult dress, like a strapless dress with the pearls and the blonde hair, which is leading me to believe that she's also the mom. I don't know if they're gonna get the same actress to do her voice. I don't know. Because she clearly English wasn't her first language. Her acting came off as kind of strained and forced, I think. I mean, I'm not here to critique the film, especially considering we don't even have the game. We don't even know when it's going to come out. We do know that it's coming out on mobiles, and they want to bring it to other stuff. Like, if it comes out on PS4, you bet I'll get it on PS4. Probably PC or Vita. But, yeah, I personally think that... this is going to be a precursor to the revival of Clock Tower because, one, the setting is very closed in. It is on a cruise ship, and because of that, it makes me think that there's going to be more later on. And not to mention this, it seems like this new scissor thing. It's sort of like the the Barrows Curse, I guess we'll call it. Sort of a revival of that, I think. Or Burrows, or however you want to say it. Seems kind of like a revival of that, but instead, like a different group. And I don't know, maybe the game will have a specific ending where the crews will land in, like, Japan or somewhere. Or maybe this is meant to be a prequel. I don't know. I don't think it's meant to be a prequel. Especially with, the iPad and whatnot. I think this is meant to be a sequel. So I basically think that the Clock Tower series is going to get a revive. This is meant to be this is meant to be a precursor, an appetizer, if you will, to something much bigger. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how this game is received and kind of what's in store for the future. If this means Clock Tower is back, I think that's going to be really cool, because I actually really do like Clock Tower, and I think it's a very interesting series. I've been talking a lot, so my voice is kind of scratchy and worn up, but with this game in mind, I will definitely be playing it, and I am open to maybe let's playing it. I will go ahead and say that after Boost Fury, I was thinking Mad Father would be my next LP, but I'd be willing to either do 2 or like push Mad Father aside to do this, or keep a slot open. I don't know. I don't even know how long this game would be. It seems like it's going to be a little more open-ended and going to be a bit of a longer game than probably a first game in a while should be. But, NightCry, I'm definitely going to play it. And again, I am interested to see where this will take the Clock Tower series, if it's meant to be a complete revival. I think it is, personally. That's just me. But, yeah. I can't really think of anything else to say. But, yeah. I'm definitely going to give this game a try and play it. But, yeah. I will see you guys next time. This is Flames Ryan, aka Tasuke, signing out. NightCry represent. Team Sisters represent. Clock Tower's coming back. Yay! Okay, bye.